Welcome to Bricks and Toys, and this is F1. Yes, guys, 2025 is the year we, never really saw coming, but we all deep down hoped it would come. And that's the year of where LEGO basically puts its focus on F1. Like last year, we got the space theme, and it seems like this year we are finally being blessed with F1. Now, there's technically 6 F1 sets that just came to market. Here I have 5 of this theme. This is for all of the LEGO City theme. The number 5 set is a Duplo set made for kids. That one I passed up on, and I just went with these 5 city sets, and so far these are only the F1 sets you can get right now. In March, we are expecting, I think, 2 Technic sets of a Red Bull and a Ferrari F1 car, and we also are expecting 10, yes, that's right, 10 Speed Champions of all of the cars in perfect detail. Well, LEGO detail, that is. But that will be for a later date. Today's video is to talk about these sets. So without further ado, guys, I want to bring you guys in a lot closer and just go over these sets up close with you guys and not with me in the background. So let's dive in and let's talk about these sets. So the first set that I want to talk about is the cheapest set. This one retails for $12.99 here in the US. This is set number 60442 for the 6 and up crowd with 86 pieces, titled F1 Driver with McLaren Race Car. Now, this is clearly themed after the McLaren race team, and the cars are going to look a lot more similar to what I have built over here, but we'll get to what's built here in a second. So, one thing really cool about all of these packages is they got this nice racetrack with the white grid formula on the side. I really like that. I like how it kind of burst into like a little racetrack with the little crowd in the background. Then of course you got the Lego City theme up here. Another thing that makes this set look really cool is about the vehicle itself. It's clearly McLaren colors, and that's it. The drivers are not necessarily going to be Lando Norris or Oscar Piastri. It's just going to be a generic figure. This is not meant to be sophisticated, so kids can enjoy it without feeling like it, their attention is due to understand what this necessarily is. We'll get that with the Speed Champions later. Going over the box, we have our little minifigure. This one looks to be of a male sort next to a pile of tires. I did want to point out this piece. I think this is a new little element that's printed, and then it's of the steering wheel of the F1 car. On the side, we have the typical writing on the side, and then we have some of that grid formula on this side. Then on the back here, we can see how the minifigure basically goes in and out of the vehicle with those little hoops. This is very similar to what we've already built. We'll go over that here in a second. No tape on the box, just a punch tab right here. And then on the bottom, we have our barcodes, legal eagles, and all of that. So that is just a brief overview of this car. I will talk about at the end of the video why I'm not building it, but for now, let's go to the next expensive set. So this set right here is set number 60464 with 92 pieces, and it's called the F1 Williams Racing and Haas F1 Racing cars. Now, this set retails for $19.99, so basically $20 here in the US. And it's very similar, but not the same as with this. If we put these two side by side, we can start to see the differences between the 6 and older and the 4 and older sets. Well, for one, the 6 and older has 86 pieces to the car, where this set has 92 pieces for both. We can see clearly missing things such as the wheel covers and also the hoop for the drivers. We can also see that the minifigures are almost as large as the car, where over here it seems to fit in. So clearly this one is the most childish of them all, but it carries the same theme of having the basic sponsorships on the car to convey the message, and I think that's pretty freaking cool. Now, just going back and talking about the set, again, we have that racetrack with that white grid little formula off to the side with the city logo up here. Here we do have the bright 4 and older logo, making it obvious that this is for your young kids. Then we have the cars themselves. Looks like with a female driver and a male driver. Again, the cars are not made to resemble anything detailed. It's just meant to be fun for the kids. I really like that. This time they are going this way on the racetrack with the crowd and the racetrack on the box of the set. Up here at the top, we can get a look of a one-to-one of the wheels. It's using a basic car wheel with a little, rim style to it. We do have country of origins on this, on the side. We got some writing, and then on the side we have the do not eat it, which is very important because this is a kid's set for 4 and older. Bottom, barcodes and all of that. And then we have the set here, and it shows you how easy this is to build for your 4-year-old, where you basically have the chassis with the wheels that go on and the pieces go into large chunks. We get a nice look at the drivers outside of the cars, and then we got them kind of doing a high five down here. Now, stepping it up to our $30 bracket set, and that's going to be this F1 Pit Stop Pit Crew with Ferrari car, going back into the realm of 6 and older, set number 60443 with 322 pieces. Now, this track is actually a lot bigger. We can see it's actually made out of Lego pieces on this box, which is really cool. We couldn't really see that easily, but it is on the other boxes. Again, we got that grid little formula on the side, and then we can see all of the action. Now we're not on the racetrack, we're actually in the paddocks with this 322 piece set. We have crew members here, 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 and here. We have our race driver again. We have a guy with a beard, looks to be a lady. Looks like we have another lady down here and another male, and our driver is going to be male as well. Looks like we're going to have some extra tires with this set. We're going to have probably a pit timer, a whole bunch of really cool little graphs done in sticker elements. The car is done in the same way as the 6 and older sets are done, like with the Mclaren, but not with the Haas and the Williams. That one's obviously for the 4 and older. This set also looks like it's built on a nice little road plate, maybe type base, not as sure, but that's what the car kind of like pulls up on. Really cool set, looks really action-packed. Up here at the top of the box, we can get a one-to-one of the tire featuring the red wheel cover for a Ferrari. Here we got him holding that steering element again. We got these 4 crew members. This looks like it's a tire gun that 2 of them are holding. I like the little torso prints. They're really nice. Then on the side of the box, we got the Lego with the F1 logo. Then on the side of this box, we got some writing about the country of origins. And then down here, we got the barcode. But then getting into the action of the back of the box right here, we have the car leaving the pit stall. We got the upward shot with our crew members, which looks really full of action. Here we got some more pictures of the little functions of it. Now this one will be staying in its box, and I'll tell you why later. Now the last set I want to talk about is the one all the way here in the back. Let's pull it forward. So this set is going to be your Lego City F1 Garage and Mercedes-AMG and Alpine cars. This set is $80 US, or $79.99 here in the US. 678 pieces. We went from 6 and older now to 7 and older with this set. We do have that, again, that racetrack on the side with that white grid formula. Like I keep pointing out with Lego City up here at the top, making sure that our brand is on point. And we have a lot going on here. For one, we now have a female driver with a male driver with a mustache in these 2 cars. These 2 cars are built just as the other ones that are 6 and older. We have now a bunch of technicians in the garage wearing white F1 uniforms. So they're getting their garage game on. So no more orange. We switched over to the white. Again, like with the pit stop, we have a lot of computers and graphs all throughout. Looks like we might have some type of lifting mechanism to expect from this set. We got obviously tools. We got awesome F1 branding all over. We have a lot of really cool little stuff all throughout this set. It does look like this set may fold up a little bit from here to close in, maybe like a little box. We have some spare tires. This set looks really busy. Going over to the top of it, we got a one-to-one of the tire element. It seems to be a common occurrence. We got our 2 drivers holding that steering wheel element. We got this one holding a trophy, probably for the Mercedes team. And then we got a guy eating a croissant with a hammer, a chick with a drill, this guy with a pretzel, and a wrench. They are an awesome cast of minifigures. Looks like we got 2 ladies in the garage and 2 men in the garage, and then we have a male and a female for the drivers, like I said already. Looking at the side of the box, just has some writing. And then we go to the other side of the box, has the F1 and Lego logos. And then down at the bottom, barcodes like we would expect. And then we get more shots of the back of the box. Up here in the corner, we can see that it does close all the way in. And it has that really cool print of the F1 stripes. Really freaking cool. So you can kind of store this set all enclosed within itself, which is really cool. We can see some little graphics of the car shooting out of the garage, and with it opened up a little bit wider than what we see here on the box. We see more of the same than we do at the front. We have some machine here, probably the machine that helps do the wheels or maybe cool off the intakes. We have the cars going on the track right up here. We got that croissant now on the tool cart. We got the driver doing a shuffle away towards the stack of tires. Pretty fun set. Now let's get into our last one, which I have built. So right here in front of you guys is the $100 F1 truck with RB20 and AMR24 F1 cars. This one's now 8 and older, so we've gone from 6 to 7 to now 8, which is, yeah, something like that. 60445, 1,086 pieces. This is now the largest of the set. We have that same white formula grid on the side with the brick-built racetrack, Lego City up here at the top. But now we have 2 crew members in orange. We have a female driver in what would be the Red Bull car, and then we have a male driver in what is the Aston Martin car, and we also have the truck driver. We also have a cool little trophy element. I think the trophy elements are a nod to the fact that this team, and also like Mercedes, are championship winning teams in recent years. We have some awesome printed stuff on the side, and the cars look to be kind of like in the paddock, just being dropped off by the truck. You know, pretty cool stuff. We're actually going to look at this set built in just a moment, so I don't need to talk about it too much. I just want to show you guys it completely built, because I did build this one. I could not help myself. Looking at the top of the box, we can see our minifigures and our one-to-one of our tire element. On the side, we got some writing. On this side, we got the Lego and the F1 elements. On the bottom, we got the barcode and the Legal Eagles and all that. And then on the back, we got the functions. We got driving sim with a really cool, where it opens up, you can see how he's doing with some stairs. We got the sides that open up. We got the person with the tire gun, it looks like, right there. We got the dude already in the race car. Of course, like on the other box, we got him going down the track. We got our 1 crew member with our driver in the truck. We got the cab of the truck opened up, so there's some action right there going on. And then we have the RB20 going into the truck as well. Now let's look at the set actually built, so we can get an idea on how all of these sets are. And so here we have it built. Let's go over the minifigures first, starting off with our truck driver. Now when you build the set, it has you build the little trophy and put it in his hand. He's got some front torso printing. He does have back torso printing of the F1 logo. I think that looks really clean. And he only has one side to his face. Our next minifigure is going to be the Jack girl for the Aston Martin side. Or I guess it could be for either. She's not branded for one or the other. She has a cool little glasses printed element on her head, a front printed torso. She does have a secondary face, as you can see there, and F1 logo printed on the back of her torso. Our next crew member is going to be this guy who looks like Owen Wilson. Front torso printing on him. He does have a little grease smudge on his face, and he only has one face total with that same type torso as the other crew member, and probably the other one's in the box, gray legs like with the other one, but this dude's holding a wrench. Here we got our first racing car driver. He has torso printing on his torso, only one face to talk about. He does have a little bit of printing on the top of his helmet, indicating Aston Martin. I'm going to say Aston Martin got to brand their name on this set because, well, they have a contract with Lego. Lastly, it's going to be the race car driver for the RB20, aka the Red Bull team. We got some torso printing on them as well. We have a nice helmet printing of a blue stripe. And there we have her first face and no secondary face on this one. So I do want to put the minifigures in the cars, so let's go ahead and let's do so. But before we do, let's take a look at the cars. Here we have the RB20, a little bit of printed right here on the nose, a little bit of printed here on the back. And everything else is very just, you know, it looks like it could use some stickers, but that's supposed to be simple because this is not meant to be a serious set. Putting in the minifigure, it's just as easy as, well, drop the legs down. You do have to kind of recline them in there because they are F1 drivers. And then you drop the hoop down. Let's do that again over here. And there we go. We got our drivers in place. Taking a quick look at the Aston Martin car. We can see the Aston Martin print up here and also up here. Everything else is built very identical to all the other cars with the basic brick techniques. Just getting the idea of the colors to give you the idea of, well, what this is supposed to represent. Now the truck is its own whole basket of goodies. We can separate the two, very simple. Down here at the bottom, we can see how it all comes together. I do feel like the tire should have been a little bit larger here in the back, but you know what? It's fine. We have awesome print on the side. These do open up, so we can get a look on the inside of this awesome truck. There we can see where the cars roll into. We can roll the cars in by just lifting up this. Then there is some ramps that come out of the back here. You got to pull them to come out. They buckle in like that. And then we could take our first car and roll it in. I'm going to guess that the little pit that's inside of here, if you guys can see that, is to basically get a mechanic down there to work on the car. Then we're going to roll up the next car just like this. And we're in. And then we can take our ramps back off, slide them in through a slot here in the back. And then these do click into place. Then we can shut our lid, and there we go. Now we can get a good look at our cars. One really cool thing about this, we do have a driving sim, so we can open up this, drop that down. There's our nice stairs. Our minifigure can go in there and train, and it does sway back and forth. I thought that was really cool. That steering element that we see on all these boxes is present on the sim. It's present in each one of the cars. It's a really cool printed element. Flipping this whole thing around, we can see we got more of the same on this. Nothing opens up for the racing sim on this side, but these doors do open up this way as well, so we can get a look of the cars from this angle. I do have a little bit of an issue with one of my doors not lining up. Not quite sure why. I gotta investigate that, but that is the trailer itself. Really freaking neat. I love how it all tightens up together. And that's the top of it, what it looks like. There's a look at the front. There is some exposed brick. Not a big fan of that, but I think it's pretty much okay. And then there you can get a look at the back and how these are basically the tire ramps. And then that opens up right there. Now, looking at the truck is its own basket of tricks. We can easily pop off the top, put in our two minifigures for the cab. We have a little coffee cup in there for our, well, I guess we need coffee, but then we have some hinges. I wonder what that's for. Well, this guy actually opens up just enough. You can see a little bit of an engine right down in there. We have a little medical bag, looks like right back there. I think this thing is pretty freaking cool. I kind of don't like how we get wheel caps here, but not back here. Overall, really cool elements to build it. I think this chassis might be a new piece in general. And I like the printed F1 logos for the door. When you put it onto the truck, you are supposed to drop those down. That holds the trailer up, and it goes right into a little ball joint. And there you are. And that is your F1 truck. Let's wrap up this video. So here is your class of 2025 F1 sets. Well, maybe there'll be more city sets down the line, but at least as of right now, at the time of filming this, this is the 5 you can go out and buy right this moment. You may be asking yourself, why is a 33-year-old man so excited about city sets made for kids under 10 years of age? And that's because I have kids, and I love the fact that these don't get mixed in with all the sponsorships, possibly all of the politics with F1. They are the generalized colors that kids can easily recognize of, you know, their teams that their parents are watching. And maybe they like the teams too, and they kind of understand more than, you know, what I'm guessing they may know. And I think that's a really cool thing that they did here. We are going to get the Speed Champions down the line in a couple months. Those are going to be heavily detailed. If you have younger kids, this is going to be the separation. You're not going to spend as much money as you do on Speed Champions, and yet you can buy some really cool play sets that they can really engage in, and they're just so basic that they're awesome. I did a video earlier about the Black Tron Cruiser of why I didn't buy it, and that's because I sold my Galaxy Explorer and I wanted that shelf space, and thus I wasn't going to take that shelf space back up by buying the newest retro set. Unfortunately, with these sets, I kind of went back on that role. Some of these sets are like sets I've just sold. Recently, I told you guys I sold 52 Lego sets. And one of the biggest reasons I sold so many sets was not just because of like needing to get some money to buy new stuff or pay for stuff I've already bought, but to make some shelf space, to clear the clutter. I recently put in these Billy bookcases, and when I put in these Billies, I realized that I was putting off a project when I moved here that I needed to get done. I used to have a giant Lego city, and I had cars all over the city, and I was just buying whatever I could find to fill in, well, the city. And then when I lost the city, I sold almost everything that was in it, including even the modulars. That was in my other video where I talk about that. And I just kept the cars, and I said, you know what? I'll sell the bulk brick later. I'll sell the cars later. And, well, here we are, almost 6 months later, and I finally did. And I don't want to clutter up my shelves with a lot of this stuff. And I'll walk you through what I'm talking about really briskly here and not take too much more of your time. Sets like this F1 truck. Now, I did build this truck because I really wanted to get a sample of everything. Plus, I love Red Bull racing, and that's what the RB20 here represents, so I kind of wanted that out of the box. But I just sold the Mobile Police Crime Lab that came out last year, and that was a big rig truck. We also got the Lego truck last year as well as a full-size semi. So if I didn't sell that set, I would have the Lego semi, the Crime Lab semi, and now this semi all cluttering up a shelf. Now, that's not a problem for most people, but for me, with a limited amount of room, that's a huge issue. So I'm glad that I sold that set to make room for this. And continuing on with this set, I didn't have anything like it that I sold, but I also have a set that's from Ferrari in 2018, still brand new in box, right above my head here in the background. And I haven't built that set for the same reason I'm not going to build this one, because of the clutter. Now, this one, same thing as the other two of these. It's like a pit stop garage. It's just going to clutter. And then with these guys, I've gotten the little 4 and older race cars from my amusement park. I just sold those. I probably lost like $3 in shipping just to get them out of here. I wanted my shelves decluttered so bad that I paid a few extra dollars just to get my shelves cleared, and I can get these sets off to someone else that loves them. So that's why I'm not going to build this one or this one. But I did build this guy, and I will make room because it's so freaking cool. Simplicity always wins, right next to extreme detail. I have respect for simplicity as much as I do extreme detail, and that's why I love these sets so much. But I'm not going to build them all because, well, like I said, I want my space, and we're going to keep them new in box. And that way, if I ever want to sell them, at least it's easier to sell this for what I paid for it as a whole and not have to pay somebody to take them off my hands like I did with, well, what I had. So that does it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed all the information and going over these sets with me. I'm sorry I didn't build them all and make separate little videos for them, but I just don't think it's necessary. This is an incredible lineup of sets, and we've never really done a full new in-box type review video. So if you guys want to support the channel, there's 2 ways to do so. Right down below is a thank you button. When you guys hit that, you guys can leave a small donation. Helps us pay for Lego sets like this and keep the dream alive. Equally as important is hitting that subscribe button and following along with everything that we do. That would be awesome. As usual, hit the thumbs up button, the like button, and share the video with your friends. Up next on the channel, we're going to now check out some of the new Star Wars sets with the new Grogu. So be sure to check that out. You all have a good one. Thank you so much for watching.